Body's Fitness Podcast, brought to you by certified personal trainer and nutritional consultant Patricia Sullivan and co-founder Patrick Foster. This podcast is intended to motivate, inspire, and educate our listeners. As we explore all topics related to health and fitness, join us weekly for new episodes.
All right, hey, welcome.
Hey, welcome back.
All right, here we are.
All right, I'm really excited for today.
Man, we're so glad that you're here to join with us.
And I've been putting off this topic for so long. You understand why we're laughing.
You will in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about how you can overcome procrastination and what is really holding you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it kind of ties in a little bit to our
fear
October,
theme.
October Fear Fest theme, because some of it is fear. But before we get into that, we want to thank all our subscribers so much. If you're new to us, welcome. We love all our subscribers, and we just got a new country today. We got Canada, and this week we also got
Canada!
Go Canada! Hey, love hockey. And we also, this week, we got Dublin, somebody from Ireland.
And this is
our ancestors.
Patrick and Patricia,
Yeah, exactly.
and we're Irish.
Yeah, so if you're a subscriber or if you just listen and enjoy us, please do leave us a review and tell us where you're from in the world. If you're in the United States, just tell us your state. But if you're in a country, tell us what country it is you're in. We really love to hear that.
That's awesome. I mean, it blows me away that we have people from other countries that are
we're seven
checking
countries.
In with us.
Yeah, 7 countries are listening to us now, so we're so excited and we love you all. So,
we love you.
Yeah, and I don't know if they get translated, some of them, or if everybody's speaking English, but I don't speak anything but English.
We're going to Ireland someday.
Yes, we will. Yes,
we are.
Yeah. Not someday, soon.
So, someday soon.
And one of the ways to help us get there is to build our relationship. So we want to talk about a great new contest we're offering right now. Yeah, because we really appreciate, and it's free to listen, but we do get some paid advertisers, so we really appreciate of you all to give us a review and a rating, a 5-star rating. So to help you do that, we're going to offer some prizes.
Special contest.
Yeah. So we're looking to get to 100 reviews and 100 5-star ratings.
Yep.
So once we get there, we're going to give away some prizes. So let us tell you what they are. Right?
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. One is going to be a $25 Amazon gift card. Now, that works really well because no matter where you are in the world, you could use Amazon and we can email it to you.
Yep.
So that works really easily.
Right. And Christmas is coming up. It would be a great way to use it for a gift.
Yes, exactly. Or $25 to spend on yourself.
Yeah. But that's the other part. You got something just for them that you're going to give them.
And then also we're going to give away a few other just random people once we get to that 100 that's going to get $5 gift cards for Starbucks. Get a cup of coffee. Go. I think that's in almost every country in the world. I don't know. Right. But we'll find out. Right. And in order to enter, there's a couple of rules. One is you have to give us an actual review, right? And a 5-star rating. And then send us an email telling us that you did so, because we might not be able to know who you are and how to give you your prize if you don't do that.
Yeah.
So email info@allbodiesfitness.com, and in the subject put contest 100. Okay. And then just, a quick note, whatever you'd like to say, we'll definitely respond back to you. And hopefully you'll be in that drawing, or you will be in that drawing. Hopefully you'll get the prize, right?
And I guess you have to you have to be on Apple to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, in order to get this, I believe it's Apple if you have an iPhone.
So if you're an Android user, I don't know.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Maybe they have an Apple computer that could go on their email or something. All right, or get a friend to do it for you, right? But you need an Apple phone to go to Apple Podcasts and go scroll all the way down at the end of the episodes, and it says write a review.
Okay.
And it's also give it a 5-star rating. Okay.
There you go.
And that's the way to do that, right? All right. So we're trying to get to the 100, and if you can get your friends to do it too, more power to you. We'll enter you in twice.
And don't delay. Don't delay, because then you'll just be procrastinating, and you need to listen to this podcast again.
Exactly. So. Especially if you find value. Obviously, we want to help as many people as we can.
Yeah.
All right, but we're trying to grow too, and we really appreciate all of you so much.
This is like therapy for me.
It is, right? It's couples therapy at the same time. That's right. So we appreciate that. And also we have a Patreon if you want to support us. Check that out too. Okay. But enough about that. Let's talk about today's subject, right?
Before we get to the over-chunking.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So, I think often people think they procrastinate because they don't have enough time. It's a time management issue.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that true?
Yeah, it does.
I've used that excuse.
I have too. And, it's like, I don't have enough time to get this done. And, You know, there's so many different variations of the excuses that we come up with. It's incredible. I'm becoming more and more aware of it myself.
Yeah, how much
actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I say
right?
as I'm going through this stuff and I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh man, I really need to work on this some more.
That's right. We all need to work on it. I mean, procrastination is it is, sometimes there can be some time management, but more times than not, it's an emotional issue.
That's the big thing.
That's
right?
the big thing is that, we have to manage our emotions and our mindset better.
Now, the studies have shown that there's actually 3 different areas that procrastination stems from. It's either the idea of it's an emotional, psychological problem that we're dealing with, or it could be gene related. And I don't mean the pants that you're wearing.
Genes. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some studies. Some studies have shown that it could be gene related, just as
genetics.
Yes, so some of the other traits that we acquire. Also, environmental. So it could be the family's taking too much of my time. And these things in our environment that create this ability to have an excuse for why we are not able to get something done.
Or somebody else excusing you by taking your time, kind of.
But I think the biggest number one thing is
fear. I think that's for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it can be different in different situations, obviously, too. But a lot of things that stop us is that fear, right? That we just are afraid that we're going to fail, or afraid of how involved it's going to be, and how big it is.
Because fear is like all-encompassing in a sense. I mean, because there's so many different reasons why we might procrastinate. It might be because we're overwhelmed, we're depressed, and a lot of that stems from different fears that we might have.
Yeah.
Even perfectionists, are afraid to do anything because it won't be done right.
That's true.
So
Well,
they don't get started.
Standards, so why bother doing it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's never going to be done just the right way.
Yeah.
So, and you sit there mulling over how you're going to get it done, and you do nothing.
Well, that's the overthinking, the over-chunking that's so prevalent.
Guilty.
Yeah. Me too. I've over-chunked things. It's like, and I heard this example in a Tony Robbins one, so I'm going to share with you all too, and you can find his up there somewhere. But he was talking to somebody like, why don't you join a gym? Why don't you lose weight? Or somebody that really wants to lose weight.
It's not going to work.
And the person's like, oh my God, I'd have to join a gym, which means I'd have to look up online and on all these different gyms that are in my neighborhood, because there's so many, and then try and read some reviews. And we don't know if those reviews are real people or the staff that wrote them. And then I have to find the directions, because they won't let you just try it out. You have to drive there and find it. And always the traffic is going to be so bad, or always the directions are going to bring me someplace close.
Then I got to find a parking spot.
Oh my goodness, parking is going to be so hard because it's going to be so crowded.
And there's going to be so many people there.
And then I got to talk to the staff there, because they won't let you just look around and try it. You have to talk and tell them your whole life story and give them your credit card. And then I got to get a locker.
Oh, I'm trying to find a locker. It's all sweaty.
And I have to have the right clothes to get there. I got to look right. I don't want to look stupid. I got to look right. And then, then I might have to hire a personal trainer.
And then people got to look at me when I get undressed.
So, like all these things, and we start thinking about all the reasons not to, and overcomplicating, overthinking, overchunking it all to that point where we're immobilized, because we can't do it, right? Because once you're thinking about all those different things, we become worried, we become anxious, and then we just want to shove it to the corner. I'll deal with it later.
We avoid it. Avoidance
I'll deal it later.
Is the answer to all problems. Just avoid it for now. We'll come back to it later.
And that's procrastination, right? It's like, I'll deal with it later, And sometimes you have to put something in shelving for later. But, I think at that point, then you have to really decide if it's something you want right now, or if it's something I'm going to schedule for later. Because I do that. I put something on my schedule, and if I don't get to it because I decided it wasn't important enough, I'll just move out that schedule. And when you use your phone for that, right, it's easy. You can move it. You can move the date a bit real easily. On a hand schedule, which I also have, you have to erase it and rewrite it. So, it depends on what works for you. But I think it's so important, to kind of think about, why am I avoiding this? Why am I procrastinating?
Well, it goes back to some of the other things we've talked about, even right here on different episodes. I'm thinking about, it's really about the mindset, right? So if we have a right way of thinking about something, then we're going to have different results. And one of the things that you talk about a lot is be curious.
Curiosity is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Be curious about what's going on.
I try and be curious about why I do things, why other people do things. Sometimes too much, maybe.
So especially when when you see yourself putting off doing something, kind of get curious about it within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I putting this off?
Yeah, am I making it too complicated?
Yeah.
Is it like, to join a gym, is it really all that complicated? Can I just drive to the local gym and just see what happens if I walk in?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just do that even in my street clothes and just check it out? And start that with that small baby step, right? What's the worst that could happen is like, oh, I can't work out that day because I don't have gym clothes on, but I can go see it, right? And maybe I don't have, a credit card on me that I want to use to join, so I won't join today. But you can still make that baby step of, I'm going to just walk in there and see what it looks like. They'll walk you around, right?
Yeah. Well, becoming aware, because a lot of times the procrastination stems from a conscious or a subconscious level, and when you become aware that you are procrastinating, getting curious can help you identify what it is that's holding back.
Yeah, and I think that's part of that. Yeah, that curiosity is kind of like taking a step out of yourself in a way. It's becoming mindful that the curiosity makes you not attached emotionally as much. So it's not as anxious or angst-ridden. Is that a good word? Because if you're curious, you're stepping out of it and you're observing. So you're not really dealing with the pain or the anxiety yourself. You're out of it or above it or aside of it saying, I wonder why, and then that relieves some of the stress.
Yeah, because we do procrastinate to try to avoid the pain because we're afraid of whatever outcome is going to happen, and we're like, oh man, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, that's right, really good. Yeah, let's take a quick break and we'll come back because I want to expand on that.
Hey, we hope that you're enjoying this podcast, and as a special free bonus for our listeners, Patricia is going to tell you about our amazing 7-day workout challenge.
That's right. Do you want to feel energized and jazzed up for your day? You don't have to go to a gym to speed up your metabolism. With our 7-day challenge, you'll get a 15-minute exercise video emailed to you at 5 a.m. each of the 7 days. We'll encourage you to work on your mindset as we work on your muscles. Join us at allbodyfitness.click. That's CLICK.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back. I love what you were just saying because that led me to my next thought was that, you're afraid of what the outcome's going to be or whatever. And that's the other thing. Sometimes we're overthinking it, but sometimes we're thinking about all the possible conclusions instead of just waiting and see what's happening.
I'm totally guilty about that. I've done that. I think you're saying this just for my benefit, aren't you?
No, it happens to all of us. But I know it happens to you too. It's like somebody, when I was younger, I did this a lot, and they used to call me like tornado or something. It's like, I'm thinking about the worst possible case of what could happen so that I could avoid it, right? And it's like, well, 9 times out of 10, the thing that you're worried about is not going to happen anyway. Yeah. It's like, I can take
unless you focus on it. Then what you focus on is what you attract. Right?
Well, think about a lot of people that are afraid of flying, or even my daughter said she's kind of afraid to go to California because of the earthquake, right? And I'm like, Gracie, what's the chances are of an earthquake while you're there? People live there every day for their whole lives, and they may only experience a couple little tremors. You know what I mean? You never know. We can have an earthquake here in Northern Virginia. We had one when she was little, I remember, right? So why are you letting something that's probably not going to happen, that's pretty unlikely, hold you back?
Well, we all do that, though, right?
Yeah,
Don't we let ourselves be held back based on the possible outcomes of something that might happen, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time. And we let that fear and that story that we're telling ourselves build up and snowball to the point where we're so scared that now we're going to procrastinate, and then we can just find some reasons why we're procrastinating. Oh, because it's not really important to me, or because I'm going to deal with that later because I have to do this. I have to deal with my.
We come up with all kinds of reasons to avoid it.
I know, right? It's like, I don't have the right tool right now to do that, so I'm not going to do it. Right.
So that's why I think it's really important to come up with ideas for managing your emotional state.
Exactly.
Because that's where a lot of this stems from is not about how, and I'm thinking about myself here, because I think of a lot of times how I even say, oh man, I need to get better at my time management skills. And really what it is I need to just be more in control of my emotional state.
That's really great. That's so true. All of us. Yeah.
And being more in control of my emotional state will propel me to complete the things that I'm already knowing and certain are on their way.
Yeah, that's right. That's great because once you get to that point, right? But that's so true because, like, our emotions are holding us back from so many things because we're just thinking about all the possible scary things because we have this, I've heard Tony Robbins say this too, is that we have this old brain, and I've heard a lot of mentors say it. We have this 2,000-year-old brain that keeps us alive by looking for problems. And in the past, that made a lot of sense. If we were hunters and gatherers,
we got to survive.
We had to survive, so we had to look for possible dangers all the time.
Saber-toothed tigers back then.
Yeah, or lions or anything, right? We had to look for crocodiles when we go down to the water hole. Right? We had to look for all these dangers so that we could survive. You still have
to look for crocodiles when you go down the water hole in Florida.
That's right. I've heard at Disneyland even, right? We don't want to think about that. But I mean, in our day-to-day lives, we don't have to look for those dangers quite so much, right? But our brains are still looking that way. They're still thinking, what's a danger?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have a physical danger, it goes to these emotional dangers. What's going to hurt our persona, of who we think we are.
Is people going to ridicule me? How is this going to affect my reputation?
Our reputation, or, how we look to other people. Man, that held me back for so long, how I look to other people. And it still scares me sometimes when I get on camera. It's like, oh, do I look okay?
Well, that's been life changing for me, and I say life changing, but it's just like whoa.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
But really, one of the things that I've become aware of is that I am not what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I am not, who people think that I am as far as my reputation, and I'm not what I have.
Yeah.
Because at any one moment when I don't have those things, or somebody isn't giving me good credit, or that I'm not doing what it is that makes me feel like I'm complete, then I'm not.
Yeah, then it's not like you don't exist if you're not doing what you do.
So there's something beyond that state of connecting yourself to what you do, what you have, or what people think of you, that is the right way to have the proper kind of mindset.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I heard, I think Dr. Dyer say, if you say, how you define yourself, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, I'm an engineer. Well, if you're not doing that, what are you?
Right.
You're not, you're not non-existent anymore. So don't label yourself with these things, or don't attach to those labels.
That's fantastic.
Right. But we do. We attach ourselves to identities because it gives us a sense of certainty and security. Like it's like I'm a mom.
Exactly.
But I'm not just a mom. I know that. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a wife. I'm a hopefully an influencer. Which actually I'm a shopper. I'm so many things. You know what I mean?
Which is really, really good that you brought up that sense of certainty, because it's one of the other things that you can use to overcome procrastination is make a firm decision.
Yeah.
Write down your goals. Become accountable to your goals with either yourself or with somebody else.
Accountability partner or a coach. Yeah. Having a life coach is huge. Yeah, huge. Definitely. So
I know Patricia does that. She'll be happy to coach you along. She's good. She's really good with that.
No, but everybody needs that.
You. I'm serious.
Something to keep you accountable at least, a couple of times a month even, right? Or a couple of times a week, whatever you need. But it gives you that reason, right? Because sometimes we need something outside of ourselves if we don't have it in ourselves yet, right? It's like so many people, when I was younger, one of the reasons why I did certain things because I wanted to be a good example to my nephews.
Yeah.
I loved my nephews so much that I had to do good in school. I had to do, good at home for my mom, take care of her, because I wanted to have that example. It wasn't just me, it was something else. And I guess that's a bit of an ego.
And we've done it ourselves, and we know exactly how that feeling is, and we know that it will work. And we do provide these additional coaching, so we can talk about that another time. But one of the things I know how it works is because we actually went through a program where we had to call a coach once a week, right? And it'd come down to that Tuesday or whatever it was, and we were like, oh man, did we do what she told us to do last week? Did we get all the stuff done? And it forces you to be more focused.
Stay on track, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we all need it from ourselves or from others sometimes, And it depends on the thing, right? I mean, some things you can self-propel yourself, right? That you can just listen to something and then get all fired up and then move forward. but it's that sustainability.
But
Because
see,
most people can start, but they don't keep going, right?
yeah, and that can be a problem for people that are procrastinators too, is because they're overconfident, because then they'll wait till the last minute to do anything.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because they think everything takes only about an hour. I had a boss like that. He thought everything took only an hour. Not an hour, And so it could be something that takes, like should take weeks, right? And he thinks it takes about an hour, and then you do a decent job, maybe, but maybe not so good because you waited till the last minute. It could have been better if you had done a little bit along the way. It's kind of like house cleaning, working out, so many things. It's like it's so much better for you and better for your mindset, better for the environment, whatever, if you do a little bit at a time.
Absolutely.
I always say if you wait to the end of the week to do your dishes, you wouldn't be able to find your kitchen, at least in my case. So I got to do a little bit all the time. If I wait to the weekend to work out, which I did last week, I didn't really work out much. And the weekend I was so sore. No, I did it, but I was so sore because I didn't do a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
I tried to be a weekend warrior, and I'm going to do a whole lot. And then I was really sore.
Over chunking.
Yeah. So it's like if you procrastinate and put it off, it's going to be this huge monumental task that either you can only do half as good as you could, or it's just going to be too much and you're going to fail at it, right? Yeah. But if you do little bits at a time, and if you're able to break it down into steps, and I think that's one of the key issues to procrastination, is to break it down to smaller steps so it doesn't seem overwhelming.
Yeah, that connects with the problem with indecisiveness, because sometimes we have so many things going on. There's so many or small elements to it or whatever, and we don't know which one to get started with, and so we remain paralyzed from doing anything because we're undecided about what we should do next.
Yeah, because a confused mind does nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true. So break it down into those small steps. And if
guilty.
Well, me too.
I'm guilty of like every one of these, I think, so far.
But we all have in different points, right? I mean,
but I like the solutions that we're offering too. With going along with trying to overcome this, and it does have to start off with a decision.
Yeah. Well, decision is huge, because they say that the top CEOs or whatever make decisions quickly, and it's good to make a decision quickly because if it's wrong, you'll realize quicker.
Yeah.
Or if it's right, at least you did something, right? So it's better to move than to not move.
I love that, because I remember when we were going through some training before, and they talked about how you can't get to success without failure, so you need to fail faster.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's good. It's true, right?
You need to fail faster, so that you can find out what's going to work, so that you can have that success that you're looking for.
Yeah. So if you make a decision, try it. I mean, obviously, if it's something that's physically dangerous, obviously, right, that's different. But if it's a workout goal, if it's a life goal, if it's a financial goal, whatever it is, decide on a path and take little steps towards it. But at least decide to do, like Patrick was saying, because then you'll go forward than if you do nothing and just think about it, right?
Yeah, it's better to be moving forward than standing in place.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, because if you don't act at all, you're not risking, but nothing risked, nothing gained. Yeah.
Well, and envisioning, things really is helpful too. Kind of like see yourself 5 years from now if you did nothing else than what you're doing right now.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a scary thought.
Is that enough to motivate you to do something different?
Well, that reminds me of people that smoke or any other addiction that they want to stop. They procrastinate putting it off because it's going to be hard to do. But if they can envision that painful future of staying the same and now having the complications of that,
the pain's going to come one way or another.
Yeah, the pain of
we
change,
can't avoid pain,
or the pain of staying the same, which is worse, right?
Pain is going to happen. It's inevitable. I mean, we're going to have to go through it. But the good part about it is having the mindset of knowing and realizing, and I'm still working on this myself, because sometimes I slip back and I'm like,
we all do. Yeah.
Well, I have this perfectionist streak.
That's a problem.
So the thing is that you have to continue to push yourself forward and know that the outcome is going to be better than what you had expected.
Yeah. And just speaking of that perfectionist streak, I think that's a dangerous thing to be a perfectionist, because it stops you from moving, but it also stops you from enjoying, because nothing's ever good enough. Nobody could be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think we get that from our authority figures early on.
Well, I was raised that way.
You had to be perfect.
Environment.
But that makes you really indecisive, because you can never be perfect. And it also makes you...
Yeah, it's been taking some work to have to break myself.
Yeah, so you have to do that realization that 2,000-year-old brain, or in this case, whatever age brain that was, is the one that's doing that. You don't need to be perfect. because I think nobody should try to be perfect. Just try to be good. You know, be good enough to get through the situation. Try and get a little better. That's what I do. Is I try and forgive myself in that way and say I can be good at it. You know, I'm good at my fitness or whatever. I'm a pretty good runner, but I'm not perfect. I'm not fast. I'm not where I want to be. But it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay to be good. I mean, because look at all the successful companies out there too. If you just want, a role model, think of any big box store, right? Do they try to be 100% good at customer service? Yeah, but are they okay with being 80, 90%? Yeah, I think they are. They're
right.
happy with being good because more customers are going to come back, than the ones that are annoyed, right? And they try and fix those problems because they know it can't be perfect, but we can try and work on it and resolve it later.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but try to be good on your diet. Don't try and be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And I even say put in a cheat as a reward, right? If you're trying to give up Coca-Cola, I know somebody that's trying to give up soft drinks, Coke, Pepsi, whatever. I don't mean to be favorites there, but yeah, you have to stop if you do a lot of them, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But maybe put it in your plan that every 2 weeks you're gonna have one. Or every week, I don't know, whatever your plan is. Why have to worry so much and go cold turkey at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because then you're like giving something up and it feels like a burden.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if you could do that with all addictions because certain addictions are so addictive that if you start, you're going to fall off the wagon. But I don't know that soda is that addictive. Maybe it is. I don't know. It isn't to me. But
let us know. Send
yeah.
us some of your what are the things that you procrastinate about?
Mm-hmm.
What are you afraid of accomplishing? What is holding you back? What are your limiting beliefs? And we've shared some of ours. I've got a whole list. So I could sit here and talk to you about mine all day long.
That's right. But, me too.
I'm working on them. I'm moving forward, and I'm using some of these best practices to help me overcome them.
Strategies are important to have, and that's the big key is to be able to manage that state, have your right strategies, and to keep striving that way.
And I have a lifetime partner, so who helps me stay on that straight and narrow.
Yeah, we push each other forward.
That's
hopefully,
good.
Right?
Yeah.
We can either fail together or succeed together.
Well, we're going to succeed together.
Yes,
We've already succeeded. It's on its way.
But we've already failed at a few things.
Yeah,
that's okay too.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have learned. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have learned what doesn't work if we hadn't given it our best shot at.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't either. You won't know what's going to work or what's not going to work if you just keep mulling around in your mind how you're going to move forward and then take no action.
Yeah, and I know so many people that want to start their diet or their fitness journeys, and they're just afraid of all those failures and outcomes of the past. And I'm like, so what? The past is behind.
Well, sometimes we use excuses like somebody else told me not to do it this way.
Yeah.
Or somebody else said that that's not going to work. And
how do you know?
Yeah. So unless you absolutely step out and try it for yourself, mm-hmm. one way or another.
That's true.
You're not going to know whether it's actually going to work for you.
Yeah, because everybody's different too, and different things work for different people for different reasons. There's such complexity there that you don't know. And I don't like to say start a diet anyway. I like to say be on a healthy diet plan. You know what I mean? Not a diet, but a nutrition plan.
Yeah,
be on a healthy lifestyle. And then, put in those cheats every now and then mm-hmm. to give you that release if you feel like you need it. But, if you think about yourself on a diet, then that's already sounding restrictive and something to be afraid of that you got to deal with.
Which is cool because I know that you're working on a workshop to mm-hmm. help people, learn how to have a healthier nutritional outlook and a plan for moving forward mm-hmm. with
for weight management, weight loss.
Yeah,
whatever.
So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be an awesome workshop.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. Well, you're going to be in it too.
Yeah. Well, there is a mindset element to all of this.
That's right.
It's anything that we do. That's why All Bodies Fitness is focused on movement, nutrition, and mindset.
Yeah,
because they all go hand in hand.
That's the key to your life, really.
Yeah, it is.
If you think about it. Right?
Really, it is. It is. We just watched with Lion King and the Circle of Life.
That was a cute movie.
Circle of Life.
Yeah.
And it is all about movement, nutrition, and mindset.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I like that movie, but I don't think the animals are really evil in real life.
Like Scar.
Yeah, so they don't have plotting.
You don't think so? No. Oh, well.
But I wonder sometimes.
Well, we do know humans do plot.
Not sure about my cats and dogs sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Good stuff.
So,
All right.
are there any other key parts to this that you can think of?
You just want to wrap it back up? Okay, yeah, so don't be afraid, right? Just try something. If it doesn't work, try something else, and don't overanalyze, don't overwhelm yourself.
Just because it's
Start
Halloween
small.
coming up doesn't mean that you have to be afraid.
That's right.
Okay.
But do leave us comments and email us too. We really love to hear from you all, and do those reviews and let us know where you're coming
we
from.
love to hear from you and see what it is that you're dealing with and how you're dealing with it, and help us.
And I can't wait
come up with some better ideas too.
Can't wait to give away the contest winners too.
Oh
so
yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, can't wait.
So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to put in a review.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because you might not win.
Write us a review and let us know where you're from.
Somebody's gonna win though.
Somebody's gonna win because we're gonna get to 100. And if you want it quicker, if we get it sooner than that 100, we might double the prize. So tell your friends to do it
oh
too.
man.
Yeah.
Can I use your phone? I have an Android.
Not sure how that works. I'm sure there's a way to do it. You could get like an iTunes account or something for your thing, right? I don't know.
Maybe, probably.
I'm not all that technical, people.
There's so many things that we're learning, not just about our mindset and all this other stuff, but the technical side of everything. Oh my god.
Remain curious and have fun. That's right. All right, good stuff. All right,
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us.
See you next week.
All right, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Talk to you.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If we added value for you, please let us know. Give us a rating, leave us feedback, or email us at info@allbodiesfitness.com. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future podcasts.